everyone, I'm back with another book tag tonight, and this is actually one that I put together myself, and I'm calling it the Leave Me Alone, I'm Reading tag. There's 10 questions, so I'm just going to get started. Question 1, if you could be any fictional character for 24 hours, who would it be, and what would you do? I chose Valkyrie Kane from the Skullduggery Pleasant series, mainly because I am just completely obsessed with the series right now, but also because this entire world is just insanely fascinating to me. So if I got to be her for 24 hours, I could have some detective-y training from Skullduggery. I could have Tanith show me some sword fighting moves. I could wander around China's library and just lose myself in this incredibly magical world filled up with these insane characters and evildoers. So yeah, it would just kick some major ass. Okay, question number 2. It is the zombie apocalypse, and you find yourself locked in a basement with 3 fictional characters. Who would they be? Now, the 3 that I chose, and I actually spent quite a bit of time thinking about this answer. I picked Dex from the Experiment in Terror series, Tanith from the Skullduggery Pleasant series, and Zadist from the Black Dagger Brotherhood. Now, my thinking behind this is that if you're going to be trapped and the zombie apocalypse is going on around you, I would want to surround myself with some serious ass kickers, and those 3 are some pretty righteous badasses. So yeah, I would go with those 3. Now, question 3 is connected to question 2. While you're in the midst of all of this insanity, what 2 fellow booktubers would you want by your side in that basement as you wait to be rescued? So, I chose Conrad from Just a Dust Jacket because he's one of my favorite booktubers, and he is just endlessly entertaining and extremely smart, and I think that if you're going to be in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, you might as well be around somebody that you'd enjoy having a conversation with. So I would pick him. And the other person I would choose would be Hannah from Bookworms Talks. I'm pretty much obsessed with her channel right now, and if nothing else, we could discuss how we both tend to cry a lot while reading. So yeah. Okay, question 4. What fictional character would be your best friend, and who would be your mortal enemy? For my best friend, Frida from Painted Faces. This is my favorite book of all time, and I love her character. We have very similar personalities, and I think that we would just get along really, really well. As for my mortal enemy, there were a few people I could choose, but the one name that was sort of blinking like a neon sign would be Kira from Thoughtless. When thinking of someone who would be my enemy, I kind of think of somebody that you would really like to spend a lot of time punching repeatedly in the face, and when I think about doing that, I really usually think about Kira, so she's my choice. Next question. What villain or evildoer do you secretly admire? During that would be Varian Scapegrace. Technically, he's considered a villain. He calls himself the Killer Supreme, even though he's never actually killed anyone before, and bless his demented little heart, he tries really hard to be evil, and he fails spectacularly each and every time. But again, he is my favorite character in the entire series, so I gotta mention him. Okay, the next question is, who are your 2 top favorite pairings / ships? Now, what I mean by this is 2 characters that end up together in a book, 2 characters you wish ended up together in a book, or maybe even just some really off-the-wall pairing that you have in the deep recesses of your imagination. Also, this doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic pairing. It could be more like a partner in crime or best friend situation. My top 2 favorites would be Frida and Nicholas from Painted Faces. This is my favorite book, once again, my favorite book of all time, and Frida and Nicholas were made for each other, and they are pretty much perfection on paper. Is 2 characters who are not together, but that I secretly hope end up together, and that would be Skullduggery and Valkyrie, and they are lovingly referred to as Valduggery in the fandom, and a lot of people are either just super duper on board with this pairing or just completely against it, but hell, it works. Okay, the next question is, if you could change the ending of any book that you've read, what would it be and why? There have been several books that I've read where I've been sort of disappointed in the ending, but if I had to pick one book where I could just change the ending completely, it would have to be Fae Fever by Karen Marie Moning. This is the third book in her paranormal fairy series. What happens at the end of that book I found to be so incredibly disturbing and upsetting that I have yet to been able to finish the series or continue with the series. Okay, the next question is, an alien race invades the Earth. What book would you give their leader to try and help understand humans/humanity? Now, instead of like picking Shakespeare or some highly regarded book like a classic that everybody loves, I decided to be more true to my sarcastic self, and I would give them John Dies at the End by David Wong. I figure they would be too busy trying to figure out what the hell is going on in this book to even think about attacking us. So, yeah, it's all about the mind game, people. Question 9. Using the title of a book that you have read, what would the name of your life story be? I would choose Changes by Jim Butcher. It seems like a very simplistic answer, but that one word pretty much sums up the last 5 or 6 years of my life, so it would be very fitting. And finally, question 10. If you had to kill off a character from one of your favorite books that was not a villain, who would it be? Now, when I read my list of questions that I had come up with to a friend of mine at work who's also a big reader, and I came to this one, she's like, "Are you insane? How can you expect anybody to answer this question?" Well, I'm not asking anything that I'm not willing to answer myself, so that's my reasoning behind it. And after thinking about it for quite a while, it is very painful, especially for us who love to read, but in the end, I chose the Black Dagger Brotherhood series, which, if you watch my videos, you know how much I love it, and the character I would kill would be Butch O'Neill. Yeah, I love him. He has a special place in my heart, but he would be the only one that I could sacrifice from any of these books. So, yeah, it would be Butch. Okay, you guys, that's the tag. Those are the questions. I hope you got a kick out of them. As far as who I tag, basically anyone and everyone who happens to be watching this video, I would just absolutely love to hear all of your responses, but specifically, I tag Sue at Sue Morrow's channel, Ryan from Ryan Reads Books, Conrad at Just a Dust Jacket, Dylan from DM Friend 26, and Hannah from Bookworms Talk. I don't know if any of these people are going to bother to do the tag. I hope they do. But anybody who decides to do it, the only thing I ask is that you leave a link to my channel or you post your video as a video response to this video. So that's about it. I hope you got a kick out of this, and I can't wait to hear everybody else's responses. So until next time, you guys, as always, happy reading and thanks for watching.